That must mean 4 o'clock, huh? His name. Thank you very much. All right, welcome everyone. I call this meeting to order of the City of New Ulm's Park and Rec Commission meeting on today, Monday, November 13th, 2023. Let's start with a roll call. Jim?
Jim Bastian.
Deb Lunenberg.
Dave Christian.
Carissa Bugler?
Amy Johnson.
Cheryl Corman.
Joey Schugel.
Wonderful. Welcome, everybody. Thanks for being here on this beautiful November day. Let's move on to the approval of the agenda.
So move.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the agenda as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Looking for approval of the minutes. I just have one change on the minutes. It's just the spelling of my name. One S and Bugler with a G. Although it sounds like Bueller, which for those of us who grew up in the 80s know where that's from.
Famous movie.
I know. It was. Aside from that change, any changes or questions related to the minutes from our September 11th meeting? Have a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the September meeting.
Is there a second? We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of approving the minutes as presented with the one edit from September 11th, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to agenda item number 5, staff member presentation. Joey, do you have an introduction for us today?
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler, Commissioners. Today we have with us is our Aquatics and Fitness Coordinator, Mr. Ben Doden. For those of you who recall in the past, we have staff member presentations periodically throughout the year, and Ben has not had the opportunity to do this yet for you, so I'm happy that he gets to introduce to you who he is and what he does for our department.
Awesome. Welcome, Ben.
So like Joey said, my name is Ben Doden. I'm originally from Worthington, so not too far from home here. I graduated from MSU with a Parks and Rec degree, RPLS, and then I got my master's in experiential education. I worked there for about 3 years in their education outreach grant programs. And then during my internship time, I actually worked under Joey at St. Peter for about 6 months. So that's kind of where I found my passion for Parks and Rec starting out a little bit. A lot of experience like outdoors, leading like canoe trips, things like that as well. So a lot of passion for the area, and then was fortunate enough to have this position come across my desk and couldn't miss the chance to take it. So I've been here for about 1.5 years. I'm in charge of fitness and aquatics stuff throughout the facility. So that includes things like training lifeguards, maintaining that staff through the summer and winter months. Fitness classes, I think we have about 30 that happen during the week, all ages. I teach an average of about 5 to 10 of those a week. Personal training clients, keeping some of those staff involved as well. We do anywhere from like youth training through fitness programs. We have some education-based things. We teach like basic lifting to middle school kids, all the way up to seniors, weight loss challenges, things like that. And then I also do CPR and first aid training for most of the staff in our building. So a lot of fun parts to it. It's always different every day, but I couldn't be happier to be part of the city of New Ulm. And any questions that I can answer otherwise?
Welcome aboard.
Yeah, thank you so
Welcome,
much.
Ben. Thank you for the introduction. Thanks for being a part of the team.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right. Moving on to agenda item number 6, 6.1, City Council meeting recap. Mr.
Thank you, Chair
Schugel.
Bugler and Commissioners. Just to highlight a few things, at the September 19th meeting, Council authorized or updated the smoke-free policy to include cannabis, and then that'll take effect in January 1, 2024. Also at that same meeting, authorized the install of the bike may use full lane signage. That'll take the place of the sharrows that are painted on the roads, and our street department will help put that signage in, and with a phased approach as that starts to take place here soon. Nothing related to Park and Rec on October 3rd. On October 17th, we had a couple work session items. First being the New Ulm Baseball Association was here to discuss the observation deck down the first base and right field line repayment for that. So that discussion took place then. Additionally, there was discussion about Pro Musica. So Pro Musica is a program that could offer music throughout the city, including city parks. So I suspect that we'll see something back at a future commission meeting potentially with how that could be related to parks in New Ulm here. And then on November 7th, the second reading or second consideration for the allowance of goats as a for prescribed grazing purposes throughout the city. That could potentially be an invasive species management tool for our department someday as well. Any questions on any of those items?
Joy, I have one quick question. When we approved the smoke-free policy years ago, one of the things we were planning to do was signage in our parks. Were we able to accomplish that, or will it just take us some time?
It will take us some time. So right now I'm working with the Heart of New Ulm and Jen Mauer about securing that signage. So they haven't really, they've released an idea what the signage might look like. We haven't secured that yet. And if any of you have been in our parks, we have hundreds of signs that lay out this smoke-free policy. So our goal is to phase that and change those out when we can, as soon as we obviously get those signs. So it's probably not all gonna happen by
of
Jan 1.
course. Yeah,
So
we have a
yes,
lot
but
of
that will be the
facilities
goal.
in
Those will
the
be
state.
replaced as we
Okay.
get them in.
Okay. Any other questions for Mr. Schukel? Okay, we looking for a motion to receive and order filed the city council action report.
I'll make a motion to receive and order filed the city council past action report.
Second.
We have a motion, and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. Moving on to old business, comprehensive plan update. That's me. So as volunteers serving on the comprehensive committee, we haven't heard a ton. And it sounds like the plan is still in draft form, but it has been presented to the staff for discussion and refinement, and then will be made available to the steering committee for the comprehensive plan, and then taken on or presented to the community for feedback as well. Is that all accurate? Yeah.
Chair Bugler and Commissioners, yes, that is accurate. I've had the opportunity to review the Park and Rec section as well, and other city staff, and our planning office, and is working on those last final tweaks and things, and yes, then there will be community input once that is once we have some council action coming from that.
Okay. So we probably, do we meet in December?
We do have a scheduled
We do have a
meeting for
scheduled
December.
meeting in December, okay. And that could be an agenda item potentially, you think, for us to review that and discuss that as a commission?
Yeah, is that
potentially?
something that the commission would like to see? I mean, we could review the draft section of the Park and Rec and just give that versus the full document.
I think that's a
Session?
great idea to let this commission review it. Park and, I don't know if they're interested in the whole thing, but the Park and Rec part.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll bring that in December.
Great. Any other questions? Otherwise, we can look forward to that in December. And it sounds like then potential presentation to the community in as early as January then, January or February. Sometime first quarter next year.
Quarter, that sounds better.
Okay. Well, know that they take a lot of effort and a lot of feedback, and want to ensure the voice of the community is reflected in that plan. So probably have some months ahead before it's final. Moving on to new business, 8.1, donations. Copy of the report is included.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. Before you, we have a variety of donations coming for you and asking you to accept today. So the first one being for Rec on the Go from ISD 88 in the amount of $1,260. And that is that mobile recreation program that runs it's not just a summer program anymore. It's at special events in this fall. It's been there and always looking for different avenues to get that program out there. Concession stand at Johnson Park as well as mats at Johnson Park, a donation from the New Ulm Baseball Association. And then also mats at Miller Park. So those mats are behind home plate. Again, another donation from the New Ulm Baseball Association. And then at German Park, 2 paver stones from Marlis Wilford honoring Bill and Mark Wilford in the amount of $400. So the total donations asking for acceptance are $6,635.81.
Any questions on the donations? If not, looking for a motion and a second to recommend to the City Council a resolution and waive the reading to accept the donations as presented.
I'll make a motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion has carried. In a great appreciation to those organizations, some really significant donations this last month. The Give and Grow donation program.
Yes, thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. So this is a report and more of an update on the Give and Grow donation program. This was first approved at the end of 2018, so almost 5 years ago now, and looking at establishing a program that gives some policy and some why behind and what people can donate to. We have a very giving community that has been supportive over the years. You guys see the donations come through during meetings, and wanted to put a program together to, number one, give people an idea of how they can give, and then also set staff up for success too. Staff has given a lot of different, thrown out a lot of ideas at staff over the years about how donations are, and this kind of puts a policy in place to do that. So in your packet, there's both a guide that you will see, and that guide is posted on our City of New Ulm website on the Park and Rec page, and that guide lays out the policies and how donations are handled. So some donations over the years, things don't last forever. So in that policy, it talks about how we handle that when something needs to be replaced or if it's damaged and all of that. And then within that packet as well, it gives people ideas of what they can donate to. It doesn't show everything that people could give a donation to, but it gives maybe a good guidance on there. And then there's the form that we have, so there's follow-up, because over the years, someone donated, let's say, a bench 14 years ago. We can pull a file and then see who donated that, if there's damage, if they would like to have it replaced and such like that. So this is kind of the culmination of that initial approval back in 2018 to where it is now.
Are there any major highlights in the changes that we can expect from 2018 to what you're proposing today?
So really, no, this is just actually the full
Sure.
packet and program that, that has come to fruition now. So not asking for an approval today, just mainly
Awareness.
more of informational that this program is in place now, and we would, as people come to us and want to give back and find a way to give back, then we can provide them this to start the conversation, and then also gives that staff guidance on how to handle those donations.
Any questions for Director Schugel? Okay, thanks for the update. It's a great program and great to have those outlines, and then makes it a little bit easier to guide the donor as to what we need in our parks and areas as well. Moving on to agenda item 8.3, the U.S. Tennis Association grant.
Thank you, Chair Bugler and Commissioners. This U.S. Tennis grant, we're requesting acceptance in the amount of $1,500. Now these dollars have been received. This grant was applied for. Dollars have already been received just due to us not having a meeting and deadlines to do that. But these dollars would be used, or planned to be used towards a youth tennis program and those supplies as part of that. So our goal is to start a youth tennis program over the winter months here and see how it goes. We've heard a lot of interest, and our tennis association in town has been helping us with that as well. But this is a USTA grant that they're always looking to grow the game of tennis, and better way to do it is with the youth. There would be no long-term financial impacts to the department for this. This is basically getting us the supplies we needed to start it, and then program fees will pay for instructors and such in the future here.
Nice job to the staff for being resourceful and finding some funds to help start that program. Any questions for Director Schukel? Thank you. Reports from commissioners and staff. Moving on to 9.1, Department Activity Report. You have two, September and October of 2023 for activity reports. Director Schukel.
Thank you, Chair Bugler. Commissioners, yes, we do have two reports to highlight a few things to start out from September. Both flag football and youth volleyball took place in September and had some really nice participation, really popular fall programs. You'll see or probably have seen that the Art Wall storage building was taken down in September. So big change to the Art Wall area park. We'll probably have some more discussion about that in the future here as where that area goes. We hired 3 new Zamboni drivers at the Civic Center and spent time training them as we get ready for right now just kicking off the busy season of ice season. We had 81 youth registered for fall swimming and 9 for swim club in September. So those are the highlights for September. For October, crews were really busy winterizing parks and variety of things that go into winterizing parks, pulling out water in a lot of our facilities. And we've had some pretty good weather, especially recently to hit some final things related to that. Our South Arena at the Civic Center was flooded. In addition to that, we have very talented staff who also paint both the Wyndham rink and the Sleepy Eye rink. I don't know how many people know that we do that. So those cities pay for all expenses related to that, but that puts us also in a crunch with when we're getting everything done in the fall and also sending crews over to paint their arenas. We also participated in the Trunk or Treat program at ECFE and had over 700 people participate in that on a really cold day, actually, that day. But we had the puppet wagon out there for that. So any questions on September or October activity reports?
I was just really surprised that I realized September to October it gets chilly or whatnot, that there were 5,000 more check-ins that month. That amazed me.
Impressive.
That's impressive. Yeah, it is.
Way to go, New Ulm, for getting healthy and taking advantage of our facilities. That's great. Any other questions or feedback for Director Schukel on the department activity reports? And if not, I'll look for a motion to approve them as presented.
Motion to order it, file, and accept.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Same sign. Motion is carried. Moving on to 9.2, staff report.
Thank you, Chair Bugler. Commissioners, a couple more items in a staff report. So with this nice weather recently, even though our parks have been winterized, it has allowed staff to hit some punch list items this fall that will help us as we get into spring. Mulching of leaves, our premier athletic fields, cutting them down a little bit so when all the snow melts and it's soft out there and we can't get machines on there, we're already ahead of the pace. If we get an early snowfall, we can't do some of this stuff. So that's really helped, and staff's been doing a great job with that. Preparing our indoor facilities for high use. So this is all happening with the Civic Center ramping up and the Rec Center. We're seeing a lot more use. We shifted a ton of our programming inside, so staff's just working really hard preparing that. And then we're always recruiting. We have a variety of positions open. We have a skilled labor position at the Rec Center, part-time maintenance position. We're recruiting an intern from Mr. Doden's wonderful university is where we normally recruit interns, since they have a accredited park and rec program there, and then ongoing lifeguards. So those are a few positions that are open right now. And that's what I had for a report for you today.
Any questions for Director Schugel? Thank you. Any commissioner reports? Hearing none, we'll move on to agenda item number 10. The date of our next meeting will be December 11th in this room at 4 p.m. And I think we decided we would hopefully have a comprehensive plan to look over and discuss. And maybe that's better in a work session. Director Schugel, up to you how you want to handle that. And if you cannot attend, just let Danita know, please. If there's no further business, I will call this meeting adjourned.